Okay.
Like I said, we'll do the best with what we got for the 2.
Okay.
Want this to be the 4th, since we did the 3rd?
No, we'll just be like, we're still here.
Yeah.
This is a
Random
slightly
tick-
drunker version of the same night. Yes, say that.
That being said, being honest,
Yeah.
I'm Ben Jacobus.
Have we started?
Yeah.
Oh, we've started already. Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Why not? Yeah. So, same night, we're going to talk about more stuff because we don't get together every night like this. So, there's a little more alcohol in us, a little more extracurricular. So, we'll see how this goes. We're going to go over camping equipment. We're going to dive right into the consumerist world that we live in.
Certainly.
Head first.
Hi, it's Matthew. Sorry, man, a little too many beers tonight, but we're going to talk about the gear we bring to our trips
The essentials.
and how we're doing it, what food and how we're handling refrigeration or cooler, whatever, that sort of thing. Well, I have two cars. So the one's a short wheelbase, like both their FJ40, so I really can't bring a whole lot of stuff with that. So oftentimes I'll bring, if it's like a camping trip and not really a wheeling trip, I have like a tail or hitch receiver basket thing on there. So that houses like big bulky stuff. I have a giant tub to jam a tent in and stuff like that.
They're also really good for taking the front bumper off of Priuses that hit you from behind, right, Ben?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, those Priuses, catchers, Prius nets, they come in handy.
Yeah, for sure.
A Prius saver, we'll call it.
But so that'll be a lighter camping arrangement, but with the 110, I'll have it'll be usually just back to the old car, won't be just probably 2 of us, really, and a dog or something.
Or gerbil or whatever.
Some other critter
Yeah.
that's hopped a ride. But it's a leaner camping arrangement for sure.
Right.
For sure.
Right. So in that truck, you're really not comfortable doing more than 2 nights, probably.
Yeah.
With that setup.
Yeah.
Unless you change the setup. The way it is, yeah. Makes sense. All right.
With the 110, I stayed in for a week.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, this fucking sucks. We camped the whole time. Except one night we just stayed at a hotel when we first got there. But,
okay, just saying, this is an overland
I'm
podcast,
sorry.
so if you stay in a hotel, you need to do what all overlanders do and just not bring it up.
okay,
Yes,
well, I'm
thank
telling
you.
the truth. So we stayed at a hotel one night. But we would, to freshen up, we'd hit the Love's truck stops, man. They're great.
Best shower in the world.
20 or like $10 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But private crapper and shower is great,
Yeah.
man. Like revive you and I could do that a couple more days like this.
That's what keeps truckers on the road. Keeps us fed in the big cities.
Yeah, give them my food now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was comfortable because we had a refrigerator, cooler, rooftop tent, awning, shit ton of fuel and water, and pretty long range. So it was pretty darn comfortable for that.
Nice.
What about you, Nathan? Some of the things you bear on
So
cooking as you're going about.
okay, so for cooking, I honestly haven't really gotten that set up. I've always wanted to set up like a full kitchen slide out thing, but man, it's just you see these guys just like pop out their Coleman and cook up a whole breakfast, and you're like, why would I spend so much money setting up a whole kitchen? Like, I'm still pretty content with the Coleman and the cast iron pan.
Cast iron is always nice. Very nice to cook on.
Yeah, and doing the what's it called?
Dutch oven?
The Dutch oven. So Dutch oven and a Coleman regular stovetop for me is pretty sweet. I like cooking over the fire anyways. Those what are they called? It's basically like a disc off of a tractor with a burner under it. Are we allowed to say
Scotto,
brands?
whatever. It's a circular disc. It's a disc.
Yeah.
I call them Scottos.
Yeah.
The Scotto, yeah.
So it's looks like a disc for a tractor
Well,
implement.
the one I made was a disc.
I want to get one. He's got more iron and some more earthen, bro. Awesome.
Yeah, those are actually awesome to cook off, especially for breakfast, because all the grease goes to the middle when you're doing bacon. And every time I've seen one of those in a campsite, people kind of like end up wanting to just cook on that instead of on whatever they're cooking on.
That's a neat idea.
I've actually camped with a group of people before, and they actually used it for like more Chinese style. So it was like stir fried
Yeah,
rice, and
yeah, perfect.
eggs,
Yeah.
and ham, and
You
it
talked
was-
me into one.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah, well, let's make some. So after, we'll do an episode in a couple months where it's how to make one yourself, because we'll make 3, and then we'll be like, oh, this is how it works.
Yeah, it's not going to be too bad.
No.
I think so.
No.
Have the welding equipment in the
A little
dungeon.
welding, grinding. I can clean the metal up.
No panning.
Yeah, so for cooking, I think
It'll give it
it gets
too much
overthought.
taste.
It gets overthought for sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems trendy, but I mean, it is a superior way to cook, or it's convenient. Spread it out to cool it off.
Yeah.
You know,
So what do we bring to cook on? I mean,
do I?
For me, I know it kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah,
you know?
I've been a fan of your Dutch oven.
Yeah, Ben's
Stop
kind of
cooking.
Dutch oven master.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I might have inflicted that disease.
So after last year's surf and turf, I ended up cooking with it because everyone got ill. But
Mhm.
man, that was the best chicken. I don't really.
I've never had chicken
Those-
thighs like that in
yeah,
my
I'm
life
really
to
not
this
a
day.
thigh guy or chicken thigh guy, but
I'm a thigh guy
devoured
with
it.
chicken and women.
It's not fucking
It
I'm a
is
thigh
really
guy.
good. I mean, you get it in that Dutch oven and that cast iron, and
I got a trivet, by
Just-
the way.
Are we talking about chicken still? Okay.
I think so. I hope so. We're talking about something good at least.
Yeah, Dutch oven's amazing. I've never seen
So I've been
anything cook
baking
meat that
baked bread
fast.
in it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I got a trivet, so that's why the thighs were so good, because it kept the meat off the flame.
I got the
And then
trivet too. I
inside,
copied
so
Ben.
we poured the beer on, so it just trapped in there, just rotated around.
Yeah, so trivet, just to explain, it's just a little piece of metal that takes whatever you're cooking, just an 1/8 inch
Yeah,
off
it
the
just
bottom.
basically keeps it off that super hot surface
Yeah.
on the bottom. You know,
Lodge makes them for there.
you know,
Keep it
there's a number of things you can do right for a trivet. But basically, you're just trying to keep that cooking surface directly off the bottom and let it
Yeah.
more radiate
So you don't get
rather
that
than
black
directly cook.
burnt
Yeah,
Meat.
it's
Right.
Yeah, cooking on the direct bottom on open flame is so hard to do. But if you can, you know, one, provide some moisture in there, whether it be, you know, water or brew or whatever the case may be, you're just ultimately helping that meat cook more tender overall.
I was super sold on the cast iron when we went to San Benito and he cooked that pork butt. I could not believe how fast it was fall apart.
You know,
pork butt.
I totally forgot about that till you
It
brought
was
that up.
amazing. That was like a 3-pound.
And then that
We had
The dessert
we
bread.
had like 8 pounds of, I think, pork that night.
Okay, there it was. It was 8 pounds. Yeah, it was a lot of meat.
Between 4 of us, and there wasn't much left after that.
No,
I mean,
that's
it was,
camping.
It went good.
that was a cold night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cold night, and we had quick breads.
Yeah.
That moves us on to tents, because when you say it's a cold night, the first thing I think of was Eric Patterson, who slept in a collapsing tent with
Oh.
a dog, and that looked miserable.
Well, if I recall, I had
He threw it away.
I had the boy with
He
me.
did throw it away the next day.
And it was so cold. I mean, we brought, you know, some items to sleep in, but once the night came on, I was like, no. Little man and me, I was like, we're sleeping inside the cruiser. We're gonna kick the front seats back as far as they can go. And we're gonna enjoy the warmth and kick on the engine every once in a while, because that evening was cold.
It was really cold. Yeah, my Tepui tent barely kept up with that. I think I did have the winter top on it, but it was still really cold.
was sleeping in the back of my truck. I had a platform. I still do. Built a platform, so I slept inside the truck. Because with a rooftop tent or a regular tent out in that kind of moisture, just the paint pack up, and then you gotta unpack it to dry it out. But in the truck, you're fine. It's a little platform, and I have Mr. Heater Buddy. Crank that thing up before we get into bed. The bag open, and it's awesome. The platform is a belt line of the truck.
Yeah.
So it's not super convenient to get in and out, considering a big fatty that I am. But it's nice and warm. I've had the dog in there too. She hangs out in there.
Happy.
The bloody dingo.
The rooftop tents, that's definitely a big negative, is you really shouldn't. I mean, if it's just 1 or 2 nights, I guess it's fine, but still you got to deal with it when you get home. Like, you have to let it dry out in the sun before you pack it up.
Yeah,
and if you want to leave early,
you can't.
It always dews on the tent.
Yeah.
It's always wet. And you pack it all up and take it home, and if you don't get to it right away and open it back up, you're going to have a moldy tent.
Nasty shit. So I'm very fastidious about that. Man. Yeah. That's don't want to deal with that. But it brings me because I'm going to sell that one and buy a hard shell.
So you slept in the tent, or you slept in the truck, but you do have a rooftop tent.
I do have a rooftop tent.
A soft rooftop
tent.
Yeah.
Tent.
Yeah, the fold up.
This particular trip we're going on about has a winter time, and that's prior to me owning that tent.
And you've had rooftop tents before.
Yeah, that's my second one.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's the novel, like you want one for a while, and then then you start using it. It kind of sucks dick. So, looking for sponsors.
Well, I just did.
You're right.
I mean, I had a rooftop tent.
I'm sorry.
For 2 months.
Whatever you want to call it. But that is kind of harsh, I guess. But it is inconvenient. What I'm curious about is the hard shell. Mm-hmm. The shell's hard, but still has a fabric side, so that's still going to be a concern. There's less fabric to dry, I guess. But
I mean, what I am excited about is the fact that you can mount stuff on top of a hard shell.
I don't want any more weight up there.
That's true for off-roading.
Yeah, it's a lean profile, and we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how much should I talk about that after a while. I'll get back to sleeping on my board.
Sounds like you guys both have rooftop tents.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between how you have them mounted by chance? I don't have a rooftop tent, so I'm kind of curious.
Well, so I pull a trailer, which is a whole nother can of worms, whether trailers are good or not. The only reason I really love having a trailer is because I don't have to take down my rooftop tent when I'm camping. I can just drive off without my trailer. So
your rooftop is on the trailer.
Rooftop's on the trailer, and rooftop tents are kind of a pain to put up, even though they're supposed to be way easier than the ground tent. They're not. They're about the same.
Yeah.
Especially with the modern new ground tent, they're super efficient and fast at putting up, and really, really fast. So, but the fact that my rooftop tent is about at chest height, not at like full arm length vehicle height, right? So, putting up
cab height,
essentially, So it's easier to put up. You're not way up in the air. I mean, you get up at 2 a.m. and you've been drinking, you need to piss, and you go down those stairs off the top of your truck.
It's like a 4-foot fall versus like an 8-foot fall.
Yeah, could change your evening significantly. Yeah. Matt goes down. We're gonna hear him. It's probably gonna wake us up. It's gonna shake the ground.
So Matt, is yours on his trailer as well, or
no? It's on my this Army truck. It's called a Parenti. It's got a roof rack on top of the ROP system,
which is rad.
Yeah, but it passes through the canvas, so it's really kind of a unique setup. So it's bolted to that rack and folded down. The ladder is about 85 degrees. It's pretty fucking tall.
So,
So
straight up.
Your rooftop tent is on your vehicle on a soft top, if I heard you correctly.
yes, it's got a canvas top, but a ROPS rollover protection system built into it, tied into the canvas top arrangement. So it's a roof rack on top of that, so it's bolted to that.
Which, if you've never seen one, you probably wouldn't understand what he's saying.
It's
'Cause that's
neat.
a
We'll
little
somehow
unique
picture it at some
situation.
point. It's a cool truck.
Situation.
So just, the gist of this is basically you have a pop-up tent on a soft top that allows for that to happen, which is really unique. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
it's a
you
neat
think
car.
about it, you don't really see soft top
No,
vehicles
it's-
with
it's
rooftop
a-
tents.
It's a very interesting car and lots of facets, and it's pretty cool. It's my daily
Yeah,
car.
your truck's really
Whatever.
cool.
Get
Really
over
cool,
your
man.
goddamn Land Cruiser. But yeah, it's very, very tall.
Yeah, so to bring Matt back down to earth, the problem is when he runs out of beer and he has his whole fort set up, if he has his rooftop tent popped up, he's got to take his rooftop tent down. I've already left camp. I've already gone to get beer at this point because I just had it on my trailer.
You just detach and
I just
did your
detach
thing
and
came
go.
back.
I go. So, but the rest of the time, it's much nicer to have on the top of your truck because when you're trailing, you're pulling a trailer. Nobody wants to pull a trailer. I can't think of anybody in the world that wants to pull a trailer. Like, hey, let's pull a trailer behind us while we're trying to do technical off-roading.
Yeah, not interested.
Well,
really.
No.
I envy you guys because again, no trailer, no rooftop tents. So
You're welcome to try it
no,
anytime, dude.
I get it. But
See, Ben's still doing real overlanding.
it's
He's still
just
doing it.
what the vehicle is capable of holding and gathering. But yeah,
Plus, we also we've camped in bush camp, we're tarping and
Mhm.
stuff like that. I've been camping in the snow with my daughter and with the old truck, and just had a 20 by 20, and it had an angle right, so it just sheet off, and then
Mhm.
we dug down to the snow, and then we dug down through the snow, and we were on pine needles
Mhm,
There you
at
go.
Edison,
mhm.
and then it kind of rained snow during the night, and just sheeted off, and our area was dry,
Yeah,
but it was kind of cool, fun.
that's cool.
Bad weather bush camping, Don't
So,
need all
where do you can go online? You can buy that set up.
Yeah.
There's like a kit, right?
They're
It comes with directions.
available at most Walmarts.
Do the pine needles come directly to your house, like
No.
Amazon?
They gotta
How does
be. There's
50-pound bags to weed out all nice and dry and ready to go.
No, I didn't have that.
Snow
with me.
prepped,
They were
salt coated.
sustainably sourced pine needles,
Yeah,
right?
they were harvested right there.
Oh,
actually.
good! Wow.
But it was a
Wow.
neat experience.
Well, that's not to sour your story there, but
No,
the basics. That's where I've gone a couple times. You guys have
That's-
seen me
yeah, that's fine.
off the rear end of the cruiser, just
Mhm.
sleeping on the floor or a cot underneath the tarp, and
Cot's fine too.
cot is excellent.
Yeah.
Cot.
Yeah, Big Sur, you had the pop up. You had that pop up, and you just slept under the pop up with the walls on it. And that was great.
That was really nice. That
Yeah.
evening was really nice.
Yeah.
We all had a
You were
nice
pretty
little
faded when you
windbreak.
went to bed, so I'm not sure if you can really say how nice it was.
Hey, I think I did pretty good.
You did. You
know,
didn't wake up.
Granted, I fell asleep at the dunes recently with you guys, and that worked out pretty well.
That was a good trip. That was
Guys,
a lot of fun.
Which
Got
one?
me to
The
bed
dunes.
safely.
The dunes. Yeah, Big Sur was good too. Yeah. Let's see. What else about camping?
Cooking. How about cooking?
No, we covered cooking. We covered everything we do.
We covered sleeping and kind of what we bring, but
We did the cast iron.
Talk about
We touched on cast iron,
Okay.
but what do you bring? What do you bring for cooking? What's your gear if you go alone?
If I go alone right now, I'm bringing that Dutch oven, and I pretty much cook everything on the Dutch oven, even just using the lid upside down since it's concave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works great. And then that was Matt, by the way. I would never do that. And
Give it a couple more minutes.
Yeah, give it a couple episodes. We're all gonna fart on this podcast at some point, just for the record. Yeah, so a pot for like pasta and
Okay.
pasta and did I say pasta and pasta
yeah.
twice? I did pasta, oatmeal, soup, whatever you're gonna do, and then the plates and the silverware. Matt found a really cool kitchen kit, that Front Runner kit. It's cheap and it's just awesome and it hangs easy and that's the best kit I've seen.
It's a Front Runner, like a flatware, has sharp knives, paring knives, a big like butcher
Scissors,
knife, a
I
cutting
think.
board, bottle opener. It serves 4 people.
Yeah,
It's really convenient. Folds up
more
nice
than
and
you
easy.
want camping anyway.
Yeah. Big spoons, little spoons. It's really a good setup, and it folds flat and easy. It's in my truck right now. In fact, all my gear, apart from my sleeping stuff and foods, in the truck
Yeah.
right now.
And whenever you ask a friend like what he paid for his gear, everybody lies and says like a smaller number. But he said it was like $50, and I
Yeah.
looked it up online, and it's like $47 online.
it's worth it.
That's
Totally
a
worth it.
great deal for all that
Being
silverware.
able to hang it's nice too.
Yeah.
because I have a little stove thing and just clips off of that.
Yeah.
and then it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so utensils, some sort of
How
pot.
about your heat source maybe for cooking?
Oh, I have a very old Coleman gas one,
Mhm.
propane.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's cool. We can service it. Like, has the where the flames come out. It has a bunch of steel discs. So if it gets, you can just get rusty, or whatever, you can clean them up
Okay.
and then service it, just to clean out the pipe. And I've had that a long time.
Yeah.
It's in real good shape. And I use that, and I have a larger one, but it burns through gas quick.
Okay.
So I only use that if we take our little trailer somewhere.
Okay.
But
So I got a fancy Dometic stovetop with the little propane tank. The little what are the normal propane tanks?
Like
5
a little
gallons?
lantern,
1 gallon.
or the bigger.
It's a 1 gallon one, or I don't know.
the little green cans.
No, it
Oh,
must
5
be
gallon.
the 5 gallon
Okay.
Overlander.
Oh, the little one.
Oh,
Those are 2.5.
yeah,
probably.
2.5.
2.5. Yeah,
Sorry.
I got the 2.5
See it
Overlander
mounted
tank.
on
Yeah,
like
oh
the-
yeah.
Okay.
Mine's not mounted anywhere, but
It's there.
it's there. And I got the Dometic stovetop, but like, if I could go back to Coleman right now, I would.
Really?
Yeah, it's just easier.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unless you have it mounted in and you have that. I mean, you see everybody with that tank, that 2.5 gallon tank, and it's always outside. But most people don't have it plumbed into something, because if you have it on a slide, like there's a bunch of technical issues of getting that
Yeah.
hose to go from that tank all the way into your slide, and then it pulls out, so it has to have slacks, and then you're having some sort of like bungee that pulls the. It's just
Everything
kind of
in,
ridiculous.
back and forth,
Like when you
yeah.
just can grab the green thing and screw it on.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
why
know.
I think I've stuck with it. And then obviously cooking with flame with the Dutch oven, because that's all you can really manage. I don't have like a spit or anything like that, but like just a Dutch oven's great. Bake bread in it, cook meats in it. It's
The oven's great
Yeah,
on
so
open fire. I love them. They're awesome. They cook great food.
I've had
I did your
sorry.
chicken in Baja.
Chicken,
And, yeah,
again,
and I used
excellent.
what? So it was chicken thighs, chicken stock, and beer.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they were licking the bottom of that pot. It was amazing.
Let the chicken stock go first, and throw
Yeah.
the beer in at the very end to
It was
kind of give it
really
that
good.
flavor. That
Yeah, mine
Yeah.
wasn't as good as yours, but it was still the best thing on the beach at the time.
you can't, in that situation, you can't underestimate the salt, because it'll soak in so quick and then evaporate so fast.
Yeah.
There's like, it just leaves the meat so tender and
Yeah.
awesome.
Highly recommend everybody tries
I'll make that
chicken
tomorrow.
thighs.
Yeah, we'll probably have to go into that more detail at some point.
Yeah,
I
how
could do one of these whilst we're
cooking.
cooking.
Yeah, we can do it while we're camping.
So, obviously, it sounds like we're all good with the chicken in the Dutch oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other cooking favorites?
Yeah, I went 2 years ago, Overland Expo. So let me back up. I've gone to it twice now. I know it's been around longer than that, but I took off-road roads to get there as much as I could. So it was kind of turned into a
Coming west to east.
west east. So
This is the one in Flagstaff, not
yeah.
East Coast.
So we stopped at a. I'm not gonna give it up, but it's in Arizona on a reservation. Awesome camping spot on the water. Fantastic. But it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A guy had a Dutch oven and he made a pie and it was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a blueberry pie or something.
Really?
And it was
And
really
he
good.
didn't burn. I mean, that's a technical crust to not
Yeah,
burn.
it was really good. I was like, he's a pro. He's been like a Eagle Scout or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so
He's
he's
got the badge.
got the badge for that. I don't have the badge for that. I'm a total amateur, but he made a pie. It was awesome, man. And like beautiful canyons with the river going by.
Yeah.
So good.
And you can burn a pretty big chunk of. If you stick a big chunk of meat in there, you can burn 20% of it and still have a great meal.
Yeah, the bread I made at the beach, I burned the bottom. Just
Yeah.
cut it off.
And we ate most of it.
It was
yeah.
gone. The beer bread.
Yeah.
Beer
Yeah.
bread is good. The quick breads are awesome.
Yeah.
I really like the bacon and the sausages when we camp.
Yeah, I made
Eggs are kind of hard to do,
yeah.
but
I,
when,
we,
Chorizo-
when you can
chorizo
get them,
and eggs
oh
is
yeah.
good.
we just did in like a big cast iron skillet on the Coleman this last weekend. Did a bunch of that like was it
breakfast
J
patties.
that comes in the tube, that sausage, the classic JB or Jimmy Bean
Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy Dean sausage,
Jimmy
yeah, so-
Bean.
Jimmy Dean sausage, like almost finished, and then we just like cracked the eggs over top of it and put the top on it and just left it.
Let it all
Oh, and it
coagulate, and
yeah.
cook up, and one
Yeah,
solid.
it just slowly
Oh, yeah.
everything cooked through. Cast iron's great that way because you get the heat and you get close, and then you can just turn off the heat and just let it slowly finish.
Radiate, yeah.
Yeah, for quiches too, it's super easy to do quiches that way. You mix it all in a bowl and dump it all in, and then like
I've
slowly
done that.
finish.
Let's try that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I argue a traditional kind of heat underneath versus a griddle, just because you can get so much more out of a griddle than you can a traditional stove.
Yeah,
You
that
know.
small space.
Well, and that steel platform that you can cook on, and you get a variety of things going versus a little stovetop and a pan. You're switching up what you're doing till you free for the next thing.
Okay, so you're saying like, but not an electric griddle. You're saying putting the griddle over like a Coleman.
Well, whether you've got like a cast iron one to
Yeah.
throw on the heat
Yeah.
that you got going on in your camp,
I don't
or
have one of those.
like
That
at
sounds
Surf
good.
and Turf,
I have
we
one
did.
in the trailer.
Yeah, we did. All the bacon and all
Mhm.
the big quesadillas and the planchas,
Mhm.
so to speak.
Yeah,
Pancakes, eggs, bacon. Like
potatoes.
we cooked so much stuff on that alone for
Mhm.
breakfast and lunch. That was, they're bulky, but they I think maybe have their place. And
I'm always uncomfortable with lack of space in cooking, camping. Like
Yeah.
so I'm okay with going big on the kitchen stuff. Go big on the like space wise on the kitchen stuff, because it's so irritating cooking with a little pan and a little spoon and a little stupid.
I have home size utensils for the big pots and stuff.
yeah,
I have big pots too.
Like home size or like giant
No,
giant
home
size. Okay,
Medium.
economical size.
Economical size.
Like, not Jack and the Beanstalk giant
No,
size.
no.
How about some of the foods?
You think the guys with the 44-inch tires, they have giant size utensils on the kitchen stuff?
Perhaps.
It would make sense.
They're not camping.
compensating in all the wrong ways?
All their food is in their house.
So food. That kind of ties in with your ability to keep it cold too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a few options. I've got a really nice Canyon cooler. It'll hold ice. It's a
What's
regular
a Canyon cooler?
I got one from that last trip.
Oh,
Arizona.
it's
Canyon
a
cooler.
it's
So
a
that's-
it's a Yeti but you get to keep $200 in your pocket.
They're about the same, but it's really good.
They're about the same.
So it's,
I didn't. They gave me one,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm not like, oh, if it sucks, it sucks. Like the 10.
Really, they're about the same as Yeti.
Yeah.
Really?
Or
Jeez.
I think the guy, the owner of the company, Jason, great guy.
Yeah.
But he says it's superior, but I didn't investigate it.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
It keeps. If you keep it closed, that ice hangs out for a long time.
Yeah.
So what I did is, I like to freeze a meal. I like
Mm-hmm.
how I'll cook the week before. I like
Mhm.
I do like a curry. So all you
Mhm.
got to do is warm some rice, and then you just
Mhm.
thaw it out. And
Yeah.
it turns out bitchin', but you freeze it up, and then in a cooler like
Mhm.
that. But with the refrigerator, the refrigerator doesn't have to work as hard as if you freeze it beforehand, or if you put cold stuff in it rather than your hot whatever trying to chill it out.
Right.
So like for your beers, you put it in the cooler
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not gonna be drinking those on them driving. So
Right.
those are for the evening. But like you're keeping your fridge closed for your like.
Oh, we're
soda.
talking about American trips. Okay.
But where I was going with that, but
food.
Oh, the food. So try to keep.
So okay, but you brought up the cool the refrigerator. So we got electric refrigerators and we've got coolers. We got the Yeti style and we've got the Dometic style.
Yeah,
And they
I've
both
got
have
it.
their purpose, but
Yeah.
I feel like you could do 90% of your camping with a small Yeti
Yeah.
and not have to deal with figuring out electrical and worrying
Well,
about
I
losing
tell you
your
what,
battery
man,
power.
I really like my refrigerator.
Yeah.
I've got a Dometic. It's the non-heavy duty one. They got like a mid-range one. So I think the difference really is between them is your motor's mounted on a rubber, so it can handle the corrugations, mate. The
Okay.
thousands of k's of corrugations.
Right.
So some
Right.
suspension stabilization.
Yeah, so the motor's not getting foamed up.
And yours isn't as hard.
So like I was on this trip and I was like about 20 miles, going about 50 miles an hour, and these corrugations was it was going smooth, but like
You're worried
fridge was not as cold as it was 20.
Bet you wish you had more ice on that trip through Arizona, regardless.
Yeah, but it
Okay.
so that yours is superior, but after really looking into it, because I do want a fridge. So I'm looking at some YouTubers like Ronnie Dahl, and and then in fact I went to Australia last year. Story for another day, but there's a guy had this kind of beat up old Angle. It's from the 70s, still working. And opens it up, ice cold beers and all. Angle's the one to get.
Angle, yeah.
So-
Angle, hands down. Like
but
everybody says.
they're the shit, but they're expensive.
From the 70s, though, did that thing have any digital on it?
No, it's all just like that's what's cool about them now. Even my what's this one over here? That's an Angle. It's got a dial.
So
It's
no,
all-
no,
no
no
digital.
display, no
Wait,
nothing.
wait. I
It's like-
don't use anything that doesn't talk to my phone. I'm sorry.
Well, it doesn't. You just know you're
I
hearing.
was born in 1981.
So
but-
this little Angle kicks ass, man. I can turn it to ice. It's a little travel one. It's you can probably put like a 12-pack in it,
yeah.
but it's freezing cold.
Yeah. So you're saying, but I guess I'm
Sorry.
I'm trying to. When do you always want to have the fridge in your truck, or is there times where you would just
if I'm
go
going
with
to
the
the
cooler?
beach or just going one night?
Mm-hmm.
It's just chuck it in a cooler.
Yeah, it seems like it could be.
Yeah,
Almost
it's just
simple.
one, and then because we're close enough to do one-nighters.
The coolers
Like,
are nice, and the Yeti knockoffs and Yetis, whatever. They have their place. For 2, 3, 4 days, maybe 5 tops. 5 is pushing it, depending on.
Yeah, and
Maybe-
what are you doing? Like, if you're
Yeah.
going 5 days, really, like
you really need something else at that point. But
If you're going
You
5
know,
days, you
you're-
need a shower anyway, so go get more ice.
Typical roto molded, cooler is gonna do pretty good. I know that's what I roll with.
Yeah.
I rarely get into 3 or 4 days, wheeling and camping, and I think most people do. So, I don't know that necessarily an Engel or a Dometic or whatever has their place unless you're looking for something beyond that. But
Yeah, so I've got a Dometic in the truck, and where I love it is road beers when I'm going home from work every day. Like I walk
Super
into the
cold.
parking lot,
no ice,
And-
it's clear.
it's there every day. Like probably not the best thing, but I'm dirt road all the way home, just for the record, for the podcast. But yeah, like it's really cool that like pretty much any day of the week there's a ice cold beer in the back of my truck, and there's no ice sloshing around. That's rad. But what I saw in Baja, what I told you about, where the guy had drinking water, he
Yeah.
froze like 5 or 6 gallons of it, and then put that in his cooler with the meat, like the stuff he really needed froze, and all week long as the ice melted, he started drinking that water, and saved him on tons of space, and he had
Yeah, that's a
tons
good
of
idea.
drinking water.
Well,
Imagine that cooler was pretty heavy when he first loaded it up. It was
yeah, I
solid water.
I do like the fridge is nice, but I don't drive around with it.
Yeah.
You know, but like like you're saying, if it's just for the evening, one night, hey, we're gonna go out, just like throw in the cooler. you
Yeah.
know, and I'll bring like a small like quart of milk just for the coffee.
Because there's a mental thing where it's like, okay, my fridge is plugged in
It's
to
using
either the
electricity.
car or my Goal Zero, and I want to cook, but my truck's over here and my kitchen's over. Like, so it's like with the cooler, you just grab the cooler and put the cooler wherever you want. You're not worried about electricity.
Well,
and stuff
mine's
like
a kind of a pig to get in and out where it's
that.
positioned.
Mine's a pig to get in and out too.
yeah, so,
Even with the slide, if that Dometic's full, like I don't really want to move it unless I really have to, And then I have to move the power source.
yeah,
or,
mine's easy because it's quick in and out. I just ratchet strap it down on the handles, and then
But then if you pull it out, it's just disconnected.
yeah, I got it because it's 110 and the 12 volt. But yeah, I just have it sitting there in the back of the shop here, and it's just whenever I need it. So I've run it like for a week at home, just plugged in just to do
Right.
it. But I'm just gonna wear it out,
Yeah.
for no reason,
Mhm.
But I think Ben's gonna buy it, and then I'll just pony up and buy an Angle just because I've got a buddy with one, and it's all metal.
I
Has
really,
a dial like
I really
Arthur.
like, I really
Arthur's.
like the Ingles.
Yeah, it's just like it's dope because it's just bulletproof stuff.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, after seeing that guys from the '70s in Australia, I'm like, that's awesome.
And
it was freezing cold.
Engel thinks that they invented the insulated coolers before Yeti, and they're a little butthurt about it. If you go onto their website, the first page of their website is a timeline showing you how before Yeti came out with that model, they had that model for 10 years or something like that. They're really not happy. But doesn't matter. They're doing really good.
Yeah, I'm they're,
Really good
They're
fridges.
worth the money.
Yeah.
They're worth the money.
Yeah, those having a refrigerator has been a pretty game changer for camping. I mean, the fact that you don't have ice sloshing around, you don't have your,
You don't have to move it around.
the stuff
and you can,
getting
like, leave it-
gooey and falling into
Yeah.
your ice, and then you've got
wet
cheese. Ugh. We've all been there.
Wet cheese and wet bread.
Hot
Wet-
dogs,
Wet
half
bread is the
a half
worst.
used bag of hot dogs floating in ice.
Hot dog water. So, yeah, so that's what's cool about that because you can have your one hot dog.
Yeah.
And then it's still
Take out
fine.
one more. Yeah, it's easy. All right, we covered that.
Wet hot dogs are the worst.
I don't know, man. You've been camping long enough.
I guess drain them out as best you can and cook them as quick and hot as you can and shrink them back down or
We should
try
do
to
a whole
make 'em taste
podcast on
good.
like how to slowly drain the water out of your hot dog when it's floating in ice.
How about camp lighting? What do you guys do for camp lighting? I know for myself, I've kind of steered away from any old school propane or natural gas, whatever
Yeah,
it may be, white gas, so to speak,
God.
lanterns.
I grew up
You know.
hearing my dad cuss.
Really,
Dealing with
single
the
mantle, double
lantern,
mantle,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. I think I've gone pretty much, electric at this point, and beyond that, I try to find things that are rechargeable and USB powered, or at least USB chargeable, because that's pretty easy
You
to
have
adapt to vehicles these days.
USB
Headlamps,
Yeah.
lanterns, yeah.
And the headlamp, I haven't used one, but I love the idea of rechargeable headlamps that plug into USB, because that's amazing. Because if you camp one place one night, you can plug it into your truck, and at the next spot you're fully charged again, and you're not bringing a bunch of stupid batteries.
I mean, because
I'm not a headlamp fan, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I've been using Goal Zero lamps.
okay.
Those are rechargeable, solar and the USB, and then they're like a shade. And they have multiple colors, so you can hang them. And then I have a Lucy light. It's like an air. You feel it's the same solar lamp.
Yeah, a solar lamp.
Yeah, and it just
Inflatable solar lamp.
Yeah, and hang it off of the soft top or something. It's great.
Yeah.
It's enough light.
Those little inflatable
and
solar
then
lights are pretty rad.
LED strip.
Mhm.
And then that's all I really need, because I'm
What
quite
was
frankly.
that? Don't worry about it.
My phone's still on.
So
Oh,
quite
oh.
frankly, I don't want a bunch of light, because as soon as it's done cooking, washed up, it's just fire time. You turn all the lights off.
Yeah.
Not like you're out in the woods being dark.
Yeah, so I guess I use the headlamp, and I use the rock lights on the truck, which are pretty nice, and rock lights on the trailer. So my truck and trailer both have lights that light up the ground immediately around the trailer, and then I wired those rock lights up into the rooftop tent, so I can flip on the light, like as I go up the ladder into the tent. Everything can be off outside the tent, and I can leave the lights on in the tent, and then read a book, and then just flip the lights off when I go to bed without having to get out.
Is that your rig powering those lights, or you got something else?
Goal Zero in the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, so that and I don't have a good system there. But right now, basically, it's going to be confusing on the podcast. But like my fridge is in my truck, and my Goal Zeros are on the fridge, and then when it gets late, and I know the fridge isn't going to get that warm, I'll just take that Goal Zero and set it in the trailer and light up the trailer. It's not a functional system. I basically need a battery system on my trailer,
Separate from the
truck.
or
And it'd be
lighting.
rad to have it to where when I plug in my lights,
They're connected.
it's charging my batteries in my trailer. But I haven't gotten there.
You
So-
just have to change over to a 7-pin plug. I'll help you with that.
Yeah.
That's
So-
pretty easy.
So that would be rad. It'd be rad to have two battery systems, my truck that's independent with the fridge in it, and then the trailer that's independent charging whenever all the batteries in the truck are charged. Drive down the road, and then you really only need the power in the trailer for 5 hours a day at the most, 4 or 5 hours, because you set up camp, you turn the lights on after it gets dark, and you go to bed at 11. Everything goes off at 11. And you don't turn it on the next day. You plug the trailer back in, and usually you're pretty antsy and going off to the next spot. It's
Dual batteries go a long ways in our
Yeah.
area for sure. We got lots of sunlight and
yeah. So
tons to go off of there.
what else? We got
lighting. I just have those Lucy lamps, or Lucy lamp, and the other one I was talking about before. But the truck has, I do have one like LED bar across the front. But I don't like.
And you went with a really high end, like a Baja design LED light, right?
No.
So we're talking
Laser
like
starlight.
We're talking not necessarily camp lights. Then we're
Yeah,
talking.
well,
about
it could be
You
ring
need,
ring
you need to
lights.
spend what, like at least $300 for
No, I
a
think I
light bar.
spent $50.
What?
$49.
What?
$49.
And
Check
is the dark light up?
Yeah,
What?
$250. Yeah, it's from Tractor Supply.
Oh my goodness!
It was $49.
You speak heresy right
Yeah,
now.
and then, but you know what? I bought another one as a spare, but it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great.
You know what happens when it stops working?
I'm about to put another one
You
on.
buy another one,
Another one.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody learn a lesson from this.
Well, I think I might be guilty of that because I think I led you on to that.
Yeah,
You're
I
like,
think
what?
so.
And
$40?
then, yeah, I mean, you know,
40, it was $49 or $47.
a 30-inch single row LED light bar for
Flood, and then they're well made. Like the light squares are center, the cones.
Nice.
You know that may not be.
That's because it's
I've got
made
noth-
the
I
same
get-
factory as
Yeah,
all
right,
the
yeah.
other
I've got
ones.
nothing to compare it to, but it's awesome.
Yeah, all the parts match. They all kind of match. They
Yeah.
actually do a decent job.
Yeah,
for-
I've got my super expensive laser starlights, and there's water inside my front lights.
No.
I have Laser Star LED bulbs with the fans on them.
You hear those fans run up
Yeah.
when they power up.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they kind of.
So that's my only
background
hang up
bit.
with those. How long is that gonna fucking last?
Oh, the fan.
Yeah, because on my other truck I have a separate relayed light switch.
Oh yeah, just so for the audience, Matthew supposedly has another truck that I've never seen, but he keeps talking about it.
I've seen it. It's been a while.
Ben,
It might exist at this point. I can't be honest about that. It's been
I
a
feel
while.
like it existed, but maybe a shop's
No,
been
it's
to
still
it.
No, but it's at a buddy's place. I'm working on his truck, and I told him to take it, and this truck's been taking a lot longer than I wanted to do. Due to
That never happens.
that's like life's complicated, but it's just I want a guy to have a sweet truck. I built a motor for it. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. But it's cool. It's super sweet.
Yeah, we're gonna see that truck at some point.
Yeah, soon.
We'll do a podcast about my first ride in
You will.
the blue
you will,
bomber.
It's a
The
go.
Blue
Is it good?
Bomber.
It
We'll
goes
take
good.
the mics with us and we'll just go in the truck.
Blue Bomber was good.
Yeah.
It goes
And-
good.
Any other lighting you might have on your rig?
Huh? Oh, lighting
Lighting,
on
yeah.
that one.
Oh, you
No.
got irritating headlights.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're Laser Star bulbs.
Oh, those
They're replaceable
bulbs.
bulbs.
Oh, right.
But like I was saying,
Sorry,
the
I
other
missed
car
it.
has relayed, so I got regular IPF 155 watts in them.
So if I want to fit, so I've got the BJ42 Land Cruiser's same
Standard
thing as the
headlight.
FJ42. It's got the original lights. You gave me one of the headlights because I had one burn out like
Okay.
right before SEMA or something like that.
So no HIDs or
No.
It's
just
horrible.
stock?
They're horrible. I can't see anything with them. So what would you do? So
you
I can't
buy-
change the
you
bulb
buy
because they're
You
sealed.
buy hella H4s, the H4 lamps. Okay,
Okay, I'm grabbing my phone. I'm gonna look this up. Hella H4s.
HELLA. Or you can buy those LED ones, but it looks
just
stupid
the
on
lamps.
a whole
I've got whole sealed.
Hella
Well, I
H.
can't say sealed bulbs because you've seen one side. It's all spidered out from the corner. You know, you think you look at it, that bulb's gonna burn out, but yet the bulb works because it's a separate thing from the glass.
Yeah.
What was it? Hella.
Hella HELLA.
Oh yeah.
H4.
H4.
7-inch rounds. So those are cool, but you're gonna have to run a relay system on it
Why?
because
Pulls too much energy.
You can put good, real bright bulbs, but they require a lot of juice, and your headlight switch won't handle it.
And these will match up with the 40 series.
Yeah, 7-inch ones. Like this one. That's why I didn't do that because I didn't want to wire the relay system in. So these have been in for a year and a half.
So you did. So I can do. That's the other option I can do without having to change the wiring.
Yeah, or you don't have to change the wiring. You just change the light bulb so you can, or the lamp fixture so you can put a bulb in it.
Oh, okay,
That's what
gotcha.
they are.
Right, because mine are sealed.
But
Yours are
if
sealed
you
too,
didn't end up
stock sealed.
if you don't end up liking them, you can put regular bulbs in,
Mm-hmm.
and then do a relay system if you want to put higher amp bulbs in there.
I'm
Okay.
so scared.
Huh?
I said I'm so scared.
What are you scared of?
because you
The
guys,
Lexuses are already blinding
well,
you
you
guys.
guys
You
have-
might as well join.
You have lights that actually like work and don't throw fuses, and you've never seen my fuse panel in my rig, right? And where my headlights actually run through.
Glows.
And so I actually, and Matt's seen
Oh, you
this.
didn't mention that. That's part of Ben's lighting system at the camp is his fuse box. It puts off light too.
My fuse box will give you a sparkle show you can imagine.
4th of July.
You know, I mean the headlights alone. I've tried to track this down so many times, and I get nowhere.
Gotta skin it
I'm
out.
still at it. I'm persistent. Nothing's blown to the point where I can't reuse it. So once I figure it out, we're good to go.
Okay.
But, you know, yeah, I turn my headlights on. I got these sparkles coming underneath
Yeah.
where
That's
the
just
fuse is, and I can't
This
put
is,
a fuse.
This is real.
So
This is real, people.
this is
Real,
real.
This is how,
I've got a bolt going, you know, in my fuse box, essentially where a tube glass fuse with the aluminum ends or whatever you want to call it.
you don't have any. You don't have any. What was it? Paper clips
You
yet?
do roll with the fire
no,
extinguisher, don't
no
you?
paper clips. I always roll with the fire extinguisher. I roll good with it. That was an early experience. We'll talk about
Another time.
oh man, 4 disc brakes, double cylinders per wheel, freshly adjusted to the max, and all 4 catch on fire.
Drum brakes.
Drum brakes, yeah.
They caught on fire. Really.
Well, on fire, yeah. That was an exciting time. Early on.
Did they all catch on fire at the same time, or
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, it was one of those things where it was,
a good day?
you know, fresh out of the shop. Thought, yeah, it should be good, right? We'll
Yeah.
take a long trip with it to go somewhere. No, that wasn't not even a good thing.
Well, that's our lights. We covered food. I'm sure we'll go back to that.
Food. Yeah.
We'll go
Food
back
is-
to gear. There's so
food
much
is,
stuff to talk about with
depending
stuff
on
you
how
don't
long you
need.
Okay, McMurray.
Mm,
You go,
Bonnie.
one, two.
I think we're. Are we done?
I think so. Coming up on, yeah, it's good. All right, man. It's been great.
If you're still listening, you have too much money because you're like, oh, I need to buy this, and I need to buy that, and I need to buy this.
No, I don't need buying them for 10.
Hopefully, we
Buy a few more, figure out it don't work, and buy something else.
yeah, stop buying expensive LED lights and buy more cast iron. That's what this whole podcast was about.
That is 100% correct.
This has been Ben.
Nathan.
Mongo Jackson.
I spoke over you. Nathan
Sorry.
here.
Have a good one.
Good night, you guys.
Cheers.